So, having reached this point, I actually now want to pause for breath for a moment because we've come a very long way in a very short time. Let's just have a short recap. We started here with our Battleship Grey 1994 version, and then we built one of these, but it's actually struggling to meet our expanding expectations and needs. So we went back to the drawing board and we came up with those three different types of knowledge: organisational, essential and short-term. And we came up with a new model for an intranet. But, and there's that but again, there's always a but, those pesky end users who are used to a single intranet might not want to go to three places to do three types of things. So how do we address that in this model? Well, the answer is bring the intranet to the user. So what you're looking at here is a sketch done about 2 years ago now of a personalised intranet portal. A personalised desktop or intranet homepage isn't a new idea. It's probably been around for about a decade or so, but it's only now that we've really had the tools to build this kind of functionality, and SharePoint certainly enables us to do that, for example. It caters for our three different types of knowledge. I've just chosen different areas at random here, but these links could be our organisational knowledge, our essential knowledge links may be the ones there in green, and the collaboration stuff may be also sitting there on the page in amongst the other two. So we can put all those into our space, and really what we're providing is just a layer between the end user and a traditional intranet. So a few points to note in this. It's still based on a browsing concept. We have our browser and we have intranet sites sitting behind it. It is a single front door intranet solution, which is good, and the better news, as I mentioned, is that it is achievable in the short term via SharePoint. What I'd like to do now is a little bit of crystal ball gazing and just look a little further down the track. So what might an intranet look like 4, 5, 6 years down the track? Well, perhaps it might look like this. Apps relevant to your role, targeted at specific tasks and functions, easier to replicate on mobile devices. Examples might be HR Leave, business unit news app, dashboards, processes I need to know about. These apps could be related to organisational knowledge, corporate things you need to know about. These ones about your business processes, the essential knowledge. And these ones over here on the left are your collaboration apps. I've just chosen these at random, obviously, but that's how an intranet might look. It's all about exchanging and sharing the right knowledge with the right people at the right time. Really elevates that to a whole new meaning. And guess what? My intranet might look very different to your intranet. Well, I like to think I'm not totally mad. So if you consider these things, web parts are plugins, and some of the recent web parts I've seen really have looked and operated like apps, mobile apps. Content types are modular, so we're going down that object model again. Dashboards are like apps. They can pull data from different places and mix it together with other content to provide a highly valued view on where the business is at any given time. And there are already quite a number of SharePoint apps already out there in the marketplace that enable you to go directly to libraries to source your information without having to sort of browse through a whole bunch of SharePoint sites. Basically, the world is having a love affair with apps, and I think for good reason. Apps are very much focused around task and not browsing. Every major software company, including Microsoft, is heading down this road. And basically, we have already started the app journey, even though we may not fully realise it yet. So, is the traditional intranet dead? Well, we need to face some pretty harsh realities. The traditional intranet basically is not able to meet our exponentially increasing needs. And so based on everything I've talked about so far, I'm afraid, yes, reports of its passing are indeed true. We don't like our heroes to be cooled off, of course, but we need to put it in perspective. It's done good service over the last decade. It's been around for quite a while now, and we really don't need to get teary about it. So is the intranet dead? Well, of course, the answer is no. It's one of any organisation's greatest assets. And reports of its passing, I'm very pleased to say, are indeed exaggerated. However, in 2011, we need an intranet that doesn't just provide us with information, that actually moves knowledge around the organisation and at a very fast rate. But entering this new world does take a big mental leap, and the first part of that leap is called letting go. Now, as much as we love the idea of one of these, we have to be prepared to let it go. And we have to be prepared to let go to many of the intranet holy grails that we've been holding on to for the last decade or so. A single information structure, a single taxonomy, a single predefined blueprint that delivers everything. It's not going to happen. It isn't possible. In fact, if anything, we're probably moving further away from that than we ever have been. The good news is this is not a cause for panic, because the second part of that leap is called grasping the opportunity. So we have an opportunity to reimagine the intranet, an opportunity to create a very clear knowledge strategy, to understand how we actually want to move knowledge around and how SharePoint can actually help us do that. But previously, we've really only been using SharePoint to replicate the traditional intranet, to do what we already know. But we now have an opportunity to do something quite different with it and to give it a chance to stretch its wings a bit. There will, of course, be some pain, we know that. There will be technical pain. Migration of content is never a happy experience. I think most of us understand that. There will be some people pain as we take users on the journey. We need to get decision makers to see the intranet through new eyes. We need to get end users to see the intranet through new eyes. There will actually be pain in anything we do. But the point is, we can't sit back and do nothing. The expectations are too great. We have to do something. So, will the real Enterprise 2 please stand up? Well, my vote would actually go to this guy, except unfortunately it was disqualified in the opening round. So let's actually look at where the Enterprise has come from. So Enterprise 0.9, our Battleship Grey model. I couldn't bring myself to give it a 1.0 because the particular version that you're seeing on the screen there did not have Netscape tables in it, and so it doesn't qualify as Enterprise 1. So Enterprise 0.9, all about simplicity. Then we move through the ones, and this is all about a simple user experience, but a lot of complexity sitting behind the scenes. So Enterprise 1.0 to, let's say, 1.5-ish. But at the end of the day, my vote for Enterprise 2 goes to this, the adaptive self-forming intranet. It's not a traditional intranet with social networking tacked on or woven into it. It is a completely different model. So, on that basis, thank you for watching this presentation, and I'll be happy to take any questions offline.